Hi guys, this is Vineet, and in today's video we will discuss about the complete database restores under the simple recovery model in SQL Server. But before we proceed ahead, I would request you guys to please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. There's a subscribe button coming below this video. Click on that subscribe button. It will give you a bell icon. Click on that bell icon, select all notifications to get notifications on my future and upcoming videos. So let me give you 5 seconds guys. Please go ahead and subscribe right away. So guys, I hope you must have subscribed by now. And now let's come back to our topic, which is complete database restores under the simple recovery model. So let me quickly take you to notes. So let's discuss the notes. There will be a theoretical part which I will discuss. After that, I will take you through two practical examples. So listen carefully through the theoretical part before we jump on to the practical part, which is two demos that I will cover in SQL Server. So here we are talking about the complete database restores under the simple recovery model. So every database has a recovery model associated with it. For example, we are in SQL Server right now, and if we want to take a look at the recovery model for the AdventureWorks 2022 database, we need to right click on it, click on properties, and on the left hand side select options. It will show you the recovery model of the database on the right hand side. So right now the recovery model of the database is full. We can change it back to simple as well. So what we are discussing today is complete database restore under the simple recovery model. So let me cancel this for now. This is currently set to full recovery model. So let me take you back to notes. So let's go through the theoretical section. Now in the case of complete database restore, the goal is to restore the whole database and not a part of it. We completely restore the database. The whole database is offline during the duration of the restore. So when we try to restore the whole database, your whole database remains offline during the duration of the restore till the restoration process is done. Your original database remains in the offline mode during the restoration process. Now, before any part of the database can come online, all data has to be recovered to a consistent point in which all parts of the database are at the same point and no uncommitted transaction exists. So before the database can be bring back online after, I'm talking about after the restoration process. So once you restore the database and it tries to come online. So before it tries to come online, all your data must be recovered to a consistent point in which all the parts of the database are at the same point and there should be no uncommitted transaction that should exist for that particular database. Then only it can be brought online. Now, under the simple recovery model, if we talk about the database cannot be restored to a specific point in time. So we are talking about the point in time restores here. So the simple recovery model does not support the point in time restores. Full recovery model do support the point in time restores, but not the simple recovery model with a specific backup. So we cannot do point in time restores. Now, basically, there is a recommendation from our end that you should not attach or restore databases from unknown or untrusted sources. So you should not be restoring any databases from unknown or untrusted sources because these databases might contain the malicious code that might execute on your computer, or it might execute unintended T-SQL code and can cause errors by modifying the schema or physical database structure. So you should be very cautious while you are restoring any databases from untrusted sources. And in case you need to still restore that particular database, what we would recommend is before you use a database from unknown or untrusted sources, we would recommend to run the dbcc checkdb on our database on a separate server or a non-production server, and also examine all the code in whatever stored procedures are there in that database. Examine that code. So the code is in stored procedure, and you can also check any other defined user code, maybe in triggers or something else, and stored procedures as well in the database. Once you ensure that database is fine, then only you should be restoring that database onto a production server. Now let me give you the overview of the database restore under the simple recovery model. Now let me change the recovery model of this AdventureWorks 2022 back to the simple recovery model. Go to options, and from here you can change it back to the simple recovery model. Just click OK. It is now changed to simple recovery model for the AdventureWorks 2022 database. Now let me take you back to notes. Now we are talking about the database restores under the simple recovery model. So a full database restore under a simple recovery model involves one or two restore statements. So there may be one or there may be two restore statements depending upon whether you have taken the differential backup. So if you have taken differential backup, you need to execute two restore statements. So one for the full database backup and another one for the differential database backup. All right. So full database restore under the simple recovery model involves one or two restore statements depending upon whether you want to restore a differential backup or not. And if you are only restoring a full database backup, let me type that in. So if you are only restoring a full database backup, just restore the most recent backup as shown in the pic below. So let me discuss this pic with you. So T0 here, if you take a look here, T0, it's the database creation time, right? And at T1 time, we have taken the full database backup. At T2 time, we have taken another full database backup. At T3 time, we have taken another full database backup. Now, after this T3 time, after some time has lapsed, a failure occurs after that. So we can restore a recent full database backup. In this scenario, we are not taking any differential database backup. We are just taking the full database backups. So the last full database backup is we have is at point T3. So we can restore this T3 database backup where your database will recover to the end of last backup, which is this point. All right, and anything after that will be lost. So these red lines are showing the loss, data loss, right, or work loss as depicted by the legends on the bottom left corner. So this is the database database backup that we should be restoring. Now, in case we are also using a differential database backup, let's discuss about that scenario. Then in those cases, we need to restore the most recent full database backup without recovering the database. And then after that, we will restore the most recent differential database backup and then recover the database. Now, the following picture shows this process. Let me make it a little bigger. So in this scenario, at point T0, we have created the database. At T1, we have taken the full database backup. And at point T2, we have taken a differential database backup. And then at point T3, we also taken another differential database backup. And at point T4, we have again taken a full database backup. And at point T5, we have taken another differential backup. So in case of failure occurs after point T5, T5 is when we have taken the differential database backup. After that, some time has passed and the failure occurs after that. Then at this point, what we should be doing, if we want to restore the full database backup and differential backup, we can take the full database backup from point T4 and the differential database backup from point T5. And we need to restore both these backups in a sequence. First full database backup and then the differential database backup. Then we can recover the database after that. And there will be a little work loss as we are using the simple recovery model. Now let's discuss on the basic transact SQL restore syntax, right? So the basic T-SQL restore syntax for restoring full database backup is we issue the transact SQL statement, restore database, provide the database name, then we put the from clause and we specify the backup device, which may be a tape or a disk file. And you can specify the options with recovery or with no recovery. So in case you want to restore a full database backup and differential database backup, so while restoring the full database backup, you can mention with no recovery so that your database should not recover. And once you restore the differential backup, you can restore it with recovery. Now use with no recovery if you plan to restore a differential database backup. All right, as we just discussed a few minutes back. And the basic restore syntax for restoring a database backup with is restore database database name from backup device with recovery. This is for restoring the differential database backup, you should use the with recovery clause. So let me show you practically this with an example. So let's first take a backup to create a full database backup. Give me a minute, guys. All right, so we will show you how to use the backup statement to create a full database backup. And in our case, we will use the AdventureWorks 2022 database for our practical. It is using the simple recovery model at the moment, so as we have checked in the properties under the options section. We have changed the recovery model to simple for this database. We will try to take backup of this database using T-SQL. We are going through this example, and this example will show how to use the backup statement to create a full database backup and a differential database backup of AdventureWorks 2022 database. The example then restores the backup in sequence. First, we will restore the full database backup, and then we will restore the differential database backup, right? And the database is restored to its state as of the time that the differential database backup is finished. And this example will also show some critical options in the restore sequence for the complete database restore scenario. A restore sequence consists of one or more restore operations that move data through one or more phases of the restore. And so we will show you the syntax shortly. And when we recover the database, the recommendation is to explicitly specify the recovery option for clarity, even though it is the default. Trigger a new query and make sure you are using the master database in here, or you can explicitly, either you can select master database from here, or you can specify explicitly in code as well. So let me put that in code as well, even though I've specified it explicitly over there to use the master database for this query window. But yeah, let's mention it in code. So let's use the master database. Now we will be taking the backup of AdventureWorks 2022 database. In case, let me switch the model back to the, let's change the model back to the full recovery model. I will show you how to change the recovery model via the T-SQL code. I've changed the recovery model to full for AdventureWorks 2022 database. Now let me use the code to change the recovery model to simple one. So issue the alter database statement, and we are working on AdventureWorks 2022 database, and we are altering this database. And what we are doing here is we are setting the recovery model to simple. So you need to use this keyword, put a semicolon. So this is our second statement, and let's put a go statement so that the above statement should be executed as a single batch. Now let's write the second batch of code. Now here what we are doing is I'm putting some commands here. So we will back up the full AdventureWorks 2022 database. All right. So let's take a backup of this. So in order to take a backup, you need to issue a backup database statement, because we are taking the backup of the database. Then you need to specify the name of the database, which is AdventureWorks 2022, and we are taking the backup on the disk. Now let me select some location on the disk where I will take the backup. So there's a backup location for SQL Server by default location. So let me see what that location is. So let's go to C drive program files, I think. So under program files, we have SQL Server Management Studio, or maybe Microsoft SQL Server folder. So we have this folder, Microsoft SQL Server. Choose this one, MS SQL 16, MS SQL Server. Under that, MS SQL. Under that, you have a backup folder. So you need to provide permissions for this. So I'm providing that. So this is the place where SQL Server usually take the backups of the databases. So let me pick up this location. We see all of the backups present over there, but we don't have AdventureWorks. We have some backups for AdventureWorks, but those are from 2023. We will take a fresh backup for AdventureWorks database. So let's minimize that and put this location. And along with location, you need to specify the file name as well. So let me put the file name as backup underscore AdventureWorks 2022. You may append the date as well if you like. So in my case, let me put 2025 because let me put today's date 2025 and today is 7 and 9, and let's put the back as the backup extension. Now, yeah, my line is complete. So this statement will take the backup of AdventureWorks 2022 database to the disk. Use the with format option. I will explain about this option later on, but yeah, let's take with format along with it. So these are the statement to take backup. Let's put go statement to treat it as second batch. Now in the third batch, what we are doing is we are creating a differential database backup. So far we have written a code to take the full database backup over here. Now let's create a differential database backup. So let me mention that create a differential database backup, and let's write a code. So again, the syntax is similar, backup database, and you need to specify the name of the database, which is AdventureWorks 2022, the database name, and we will take it to disk. You can still specify the same file name where you can keep both the full database backup and the differential backups. So I'm using the same file for taking the differential backup as well. So let me copy and paste it here. So this file will contain both the full backup and differential backup. Now, in order to take differential backup, you need to specify the keyword with differential so that it should take a differential backup. And after that, put a semicolon and a go statement. This is the third batch of code which will take the differential backup. Now, let's take the fourth batch of code which will restore the database. So this code will restore the full database backup. First, so in case we have a full database backup and a differential backup, we will first restore the full database backup. All right, and then we will restore the differential database backup once we restore the full database backup. All right, so restore the full database backup, and this is from backup set one because we have we are using one files to store both the full backup and the differential backup. So full backup is in the backup set 1 of that file, and the differential backup in the backup set 2 of that particular file. So we are restoring the full database backup from the backup set 1. So in order to do that, you need to issue the restore statement. So restore database is the syntax, and you need to use the AdventureWorks 2022 for the database name, and we are restoring it from the disk. And you can use the same file name which we have copied above, because we are restoring the backup from that particular file. And we need to use the with file equal to 1 option because at file 1 or the backup set 1, because this code is used to indicate the backup set 1. We for using the backup set 1, which is the full database backup, we specify file equal to 1 because this file is containing both the full and differential database backup. So file equal to 2 refers to the differential database backup. So here we are restoring the full database backup. And we will specify the no recovery option because at this point we have just restored the full database backup and we don't want to recover the database as of yet. So we specify the no recovery option. All right. And at this point, let's restore the differential database backup. And this will be from the backup set 2. So this is from backup set 2. And you need to use the same syntax, restore database, and you need to specify the name of the database, which is AdventureWorks 2022. And you need to specify from disk option. And the file will be same. Yep, because it contains the differential backup as well. But this time you need to specify file equal to 2 so that it should use backup set 2, right? For restoring the differential backup, and after that we can specify the recovery option so that it should completely recover the database, and then we can type go. So I hope you understand this code completely. If not, please reverse this video and go through start from the point where I started explaining this code. Go through it once again, you will understand it in a better way. I'm executing all the statements in a single go where it will make the recovery model of this database too simple. Then it will take the full database backup of AdventureWorks 2000 database. Then it will create the differential backup of the AdventureWorks 2022 database in the same file. And then we are restoring first the full backup and with the no recovery option, and then we are restoring the differential backup with the recovery option. So let me execute these statements. So I've pressed execute, so it should soon create the backup. So it has created the backup, right? It has completed. So if we check the folder and we sort by get modified, you can see that our backup file is here, which contains both the differential and full database backups. This file contains the both, and this is a heavy file, 200 MB. And yeah, our database is restored now. And if we check the recovery model, it should now be changed to simple recovery model. So if we go to options, we will see that the database model is changed to simple recovery model. So that's it, guys. I hope you like the coding stuff and the theoretical part of this video. If you really like this video, please hit on the like button, right? And once you hit on the like button, and if you have not already yet subscribed to the channel, or if you are new to this channel, please go ahead and subscribe right away so that you can get timely updates regarding my future and upcoming videos. You should not be missing on that, as I release videos related to SQL Server on a regular basis. Sometimes there is a gap, but yeah, I usually release them as soon as possible whenever I get time. So yeah, there's a restore button below this video. You can click on not the restore button, sorry. There's a subscribe button below this video. Click on that subscribe button. It will give you a bell icon. Click on that bell icon, select all notifications to get notifications regarding my future and upcoming videos. So I hope you have already subscribed by now and turned on all the notifications. So let me move ahead. Let me take you through the final slide of this video. So in case you want to send me an email, you can use my email address vrmavine@gmail.com mentioned on the left hand side. And you can send me an email regarding the following options. In case you need the copy of the notes that are discussed during the video, you can send me an email. But in order to get the notes, you need to pay a nominal fee. So once I get your email, I will send you the link where you can make the nominal payment and download the notes instantly. And in case you want to schedule one-on-one calls with me, which is also a paid feature, you can schedule a 30-minute or 1-hour call with me if you want to discuss some concept in SQL with me. You can send me an email along with the topic you want to discuss in SQL. And in case you want to take SQL Server Coaching, maybe in group or individual basis, do let me know over the email. This will be a paid coaching, and price will be according to whether you're getting the group coaching or an individual coaching. I don't usually prefer giving individual coaching, but yeah, in case you're still interested, do let me know. Now, if you need coaching on any particular SQL topic, you can definitely send me an email with the particular topic you want to discuss so that I can prepare on that topic and discuss it with you. You can also send me an email if you want your transact SQL code to be analyzed, if you are making any projects or if you are learning some SQL code and experiencing difficulty in understanding that code. Yeah, and then you can schedule one-on-one calls with me. I can analyze your transact SQL code and explain it to you. And you can also collaborate for any content creation or any brand promotions. Thank you so much for your time on this video today, guys, and you have a wonderful day ahead.